This week's AlgoRANT is brought to you by Headline Inc. Headline is the creative force behind essential Algorand ecosystem tools like Algo Swap, Algo Cloud, Algo Glyph, Pipeline UI, and much, much more, including Forum Social Network. Follow them at headline_crypto on Twitter to keep up to date. Just recently, they announced a DAO grant, DAO tools. They are continuing to stay ahead of the curve. But without further ado, it's Friday and it's time for my Algo rant. Hey everybody, welcome to the ReCoop. I'm Cooper Daniels and I'm a guy that knows a little about a lot. And today is my Algo rant, so let's get into it. First up, what's going down, folks? Except for the price of Algo and all of crypto, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it hurts, you know what I mean? If you need money right now and you are heavily invested in Algo, this hurts and I feel for you and I'm sorry that this is happening. Did you catch the dip though? Did you catch it at 106? It got as low as 106 yesterday. So right now it's about noon on the West Coast. That's where I'm at. And last I looked, the price was at 114, headed on its way back down, right? It had gotten up to like 117, 118, and now it's back to 114, whatever. Yesterday, it got as low as 106. So look, folks, if you're long, you're not worried. You know what's coming. You know what's going on. But it takes some patience and it takes some fortitude. You know what I mean? It takes some fortitude. I'm long and I'm adding. I will add at these lower prices. If we get down to, near $1, I missed 106. I would have bought that. And, I bought 120 and, now it's cheaper than that. So look, we can't catch the bottom. You know what I mean? You just can't always catch the bottom, but you can watch. And this is clearly trending down, but this can be, look, by the time I put this out in 3 hours, who knows what the price would be? It could be down to 102. It could be up to 120. I have no idea, but by the time maybe you watch this weekend, look, this is a volatile space, folks. But you got to bet on the real technology. And none of this is investment advice. This is just my opinion and how I'm approaching things. Aside from the fact that, crypto is crashing and all of our wealth is disappearing, there's been some really good news this week. For one, Tinyman came back online. I mean, how important was that? Holy moly. And there's a lot of different excitement there. You saw DFly, which is a DEX coming to the Algorand ecosystem soon. You saw that fly. DFly went on a trip, that probably made, I saw guys in the Discord, I saw people online talking about how they made 1,500 Algo in a few minutes and all that type of stuff. So, there's always opportunities, even in bear markets, to fool around. And, now that Tinyman is back, there is opportunity. Algofi has a grant from the foundation to incentivize activity on their platform. And look, there are simple things that you can do right now if you want to participate and gain a large yield. So an easy way for you to participate would be lending Algo to Algofi and then borrowing stable in return, and then taking your stable and swapping half of that on Tinyman for USDC. So now you have some stable and you have some USDC, and then you provide liquidity on Tinyman right there. And then you take that LP token and then you stake it on Algofi, and boom, you're making crazy 30-40% interest on your thing. So that is, that's an approach. And I think that approach works. Try it out for yourself. So in other news, there is something coming very soon. It's called Algoguard, right? This is really interesting, and this should actually be live before the second quarter governance period opens up. And what you can do there is you'll be able to use basically your staking governance as collateral to get their GARD stablecoin, which is an algorithmically backed stablecoin. You'll be able to get that and then earn APY on that. You'll be able to double up your APY from what you're earning in governance as it is, and then you'll be able to double it up with the stablecoin, which doesn't really create a whole lot of risk. I don't know all the details about it. Interested, Algoguard, you are welcome to come on the show anytime. But these are the things. You got Tinyman back. YLDY has had a rough week, but folks, look, leave them alone. You know what I mean? They're building their esports thing on Polygon. All right. The YESP token will be on Polygon. They'll figure out ways to incentivize. Look, these people are entrepreneurs and they are making things happen. The DeFi product of YLDY doesn't get affected. I think moving on. My personal opinion is, look, man, we had nothing going on when this all came out. Tinyman was still down, and we all were a little like, man, now there's a problem with this, and we all got frustrated. But in the end, look, YLDY's going to be fine, folks. So buy the dip. Not financial advice, but man, that's been dipping hard. I got yesterday, I swapped a little bit of Algo for some YLDY, and I got it 106 YLDY to 1 Algo. I think that's a pretty good deal. And who knows, there is a sentiment that YLDY kind of betrayed the community. So you might have this is, when there's blood in the streets, folks, when there's blood in the streets, not financial advice. All right. And yeah, this morning, there was some great things that happened to me this morning. I talked to Kelly Callahan, who is the head of marketing over at Algorand Inc. That's an exciting interview that I'll put out tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. You'll be able to watch that interview on the ReCoop with Kelly Callahan. That's fantastic. I took part in I woke up very early and I won this NFT. You know what I mean? From the Wolf Pack. Look how cool that is. It's very rare. It's a golden ticket. Man, I got lucky there. I'm very, very infrequently lucky with these NFT shuffles, etc. So I'm proud of that. And today, on this episode, I am starting something called the Artists of Algorand. It's a new segment and where I'm going to highlight specific artists in the community and show obviously their NFT project, but hopefully also provide some information on who they are and their story and what they're trying to do. I love artists. I mean, maybe you don't know this about me, but I am a big fan of art. I'm a big fan of supporting artists, and I'm a big fan of what NFTs and Web3 and whatever the metaverse is going to do to a creator economy. I mean, it's exciting, folks. And gaming also, man. I talked a little bit about it last week, but I talked about the Zone IDO, which of course, United States citizens weren't able to participate because we don't get to participate in anything. But even if we were able to participate, we had no chance. The IDO sold out in like less than 60 seconds, folks. So unless you are the quickest draw in town and you are outside of the United States, you weren't able to participate. But good on Zone for actually opening it up to everybody, right? So it's fantastic. What else, man? It's a little light this week. A little light on the information. I mean, we got Tinyman. The NFT space is absolutely exploding. There's so many DEXs coming. Humble Swap, DFly, AlgoDEX. There are a lot of different tools. I mentioned GARD earlier. The energy in the activity, right? I mentioned also last week, like 20% increase in wallets since the beginning of the year. And we're only in January. Millions of wallets and accounts being built on Algorand. And I talk all about this stuff with Kelly tomorrow. You definitely want to check out tomorrow's episode. I had a great time talking to her. She's super nice and was very easy to talk to and very forthcoming. So that was good. Earlier this week, I talked to Natalie from Prismatic, another extraordinarily impressive person building on the Algorand blockchain. I'm going to be talking to Glitter Finance soon, which is building bridges and focusing on interoperability between chains with Algorand as their home base. And that's it, man. You got to be excited. Other than the price, everything is going right. You know what I mean? And I'm fully down the wormhole on NFTs. It took me a little bit of time, but old collector kid, man, is back. It's no longer sports cards, folks. It's now NFTs, and it is fun, man. And they're, how they're gamifying everything and the shuffles and the staking and all the things, right? All of the things. All right. So that's a perfect transition. So, like I said, I'm going to be doing a weekly profile on a specific artist in the Algorand ecosystem. I'm calling it the Artists of Algorand. And this week I have a spotlight on a guy named Jorge. Jorge is the creator of the Pyrenees Pack. And I'm sure if you're in the Algorand ecosystem, you're familiar with these guys. They look fantastic. They're all 100% hand-drawn, the themes, the backgrounds, everything. It's 100% hand-drawn, and they are fantastic, right? I mean, just look at them. Jorge lives in the deep south of Alabama. He comes from immigrant parents who work several jobs to help support his family. His dad always just thought that art was a hobby. And maybe Jorge bought into that a little bit as he got older because he kind of dropped it when he had a family and he focused on work. But then Jorge had a baby, man. And he saw that little baby. And that baby's only 5 months old. So Jorge got back to art relatively recently, and he was inspired. He wanted to create, and he went to an animal sanctuary and he saw a Pyrenees sitting on a hill and it looked wise and calm, and he was like, man, I'm inspired, man. And so that's the deal. And look at some of Jorge's, he even sent me a few pieces from his earlier work. This is like 15 years old. Look at this stuff, man. He's like obviously such a gifted dude. And on top of that, he's just a solid, good dude. Just in the correspondence that I've had with him, what he told me was like, look, man, I want to try to push myself and create something that's a little bigger than, a profile pic collection. He wants to focus on community, and if you're in the Discord over there for the Pyrenees pack, there's a real solid vibe in there, and everyone's super happy to be there, and it's growing. So 10% of all Pyrenees pack sales go to Food for Life Global, and that is a charity that provides plant-based meals to underserved people across the globe. So it's a fantastic charity. I'll put a link to the website for them in the description of this video if you'd like to contribute to them outside of it. But if you buy some of Jorge's work, 10% of all of his sales go to that charity. It's fantastic, right? Oh, just so you know, there will be 500 Pyrenees total. Now, one other thing about Jorge and his work, for me in the ReCoop, it was actually really excellent to hear. And it excited me. It made me realize that I love doing this, man. And this is the thing, is he told me after we had been corresponding, after I had reached out to him about loving his art and wanting to profile his work, and I wanted to, I'd reached out to him previously, and I've been trying to win his shuffles and all that. At the very end, he goes, hey, by the way, man, this is at the end. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this earlier, dude? But he's like, by the way, man, he's like, I found your videos a long time ago. You were talking about Digibyte, and I watched your Digibyte videos, and then a little bit later, you popped up on YouTube and I saw you talking about Algorand. And that is how I learned about Algorand, right? And then he entered into the Algorand space, and that's where he found NFTs. So, I guess the lesson here is that as you proceed in life, folks, just keep doing it, man. Just keep. All right, everybody, look, support Jorge, buy a Pyrenees pack. Unfortunately, I don't own any. And he's getting more and more popular, folks. So I'm going to be priced out once again. But hey, doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is the NFT space is very exciting for what it's doing for artists. It's a wonderful thing to support. Jorge from the deep south in Alabama has a platform where he's connecting with people all across the world, and he's able to, and people are seeing his art. Look, an art gallery in Alabama is good, but a global platform like the Algorand blockchain is probably a little bit better. All right, everybody. Hey, that's it for this week. I've got so many different interviews coming. Like I said, tomorrow, Kelly Callahan, coming up soon, Glitter Finance, and then there is just so much more. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, do your homework.